Hand Physics Lab, created by Dennis Kinnety, is an experimental game you can control with just your fingers, created for the Quest 1 and 2. It supports controller input as well. This is free on SideQuest, and keep that in mind for the review. I love the game, and the developers are always updating it with new things, and it's one of my favourite games to show friends. It's so cool being able to see your hands without a controller. Just makes you wish Oculus would have individual finger tracking, like Valve's Knuckles. Oh well, hopefully on the Quest 3. The interactive buttons and controls were great to use. You flick them with your finger and it makes great use of the controls. Sliding your finger next to your arm, you can bring up a submenu. You can teleport, have telekinesis, and have things snap into place. Telekinesis and teleport I had turned off, they kept getting in the way. Having things snap into place is pretty essential. Without it, things don't really work. I had snapping on most of the game. The biggest limitation at the moment is not being able to bring your hands really close together, and it not being fast enough, which translates to you slowing down so the tracking can keep up with you. You can navigate through all the modes by pressing the buttons and the menu in front of you. During the starting section, you can play with the rubber duck and a cup. It was fun having a real cup in real life, as well as having it in VR. It was very meta. The braking physics look cool, and you can shatter the cup and then pick it up. The button game felt like a great use of finger tracking. It works seamlessly, and I didn't feel the limitations while playing this. Playing with the tools and Apple was awesome. It feels great grabbing tools with two hands and being able to feel the physics behind them. There's also a little car you can play with. Blocks snap perfectly into your hands, and you can practice using the controls when you let go of them while trying to throw them. I had a good gym workout in VR. Again, I got physical weight to use in the real world and in VR, which really adds to the experience. Imagine if a game could scan objects into the VR world. That would be cool. There's also weighted cubes you can practice pushing. I'm a big touch typer, but unfortunately the finger tracking isn't sensitive enough to track that, but it's nice to see everything on screen. The mouse clicks feel great as well. The pen and paper lets you draw, erase, and use a ruler to make lines. Again, bringing inspiration from the real world, I took a pencil and tried drawing with it. I had a lot of fun doing this. Making finger paintings took me back to primary school, but you can really feel the limitations of the technology and of the tracking in games like this. Egg painting is another great addition. You can shoot a Nerf gun at people. You kind of have to angle your hand so the camera can see you pull the trigger, but shooting guns in VR is always a good time. It's trippy cutting your hands off and seeing them move and trying to walk with them while they aren't attached. There's a section with a tiny moving stick figure you can grab and move around. It makes you feel like a giant. Using force abilities was another great use of the technology. You can grab and push the balls. This was a lot of fun. One of my favorite sections. It was seamless as well, with not much glitching. You can play with a Bunsen burner and potions. Mostly just use this section to paint my hands. There's also a birthday cake section. Using the lighter to light candles and then stick them into the cake felt seamless. One of my favorites as well. There's a skeleton and bone in 3D. The skeleton moves so much like the stick figure section, you can pick him up and play around with him. There are a lot of great settings as well. You can change the size of your hands to really big, which is hilarious, and also really small, which is also hilarious. Ironically, this game works a lot better with a controller. You forget how good it is being able to hold something and press buttons while getting tactile feedback. This is a must play as it's free and the best tracking game on the Quest at the moment. Can't imagine where this technology will go in the future.